No, it's good stuff.
What does it stand for, though?
What's important now?
What's important now?
Is it like the Illinois, the Wint or whatever Illinois does there?
Can't tell you I know anything about that. What's up, guys? How we doing?
How would you assess the first 2 days?
Glad that we get to put shoulder pads on. Love these NCAA rules. But no, it's good. I mean, like I said yesterday, the guys are in really good shape. And, we're going to play a lot of guys. I like our depth right now, and obviously what we went through a year ago, it's going to force us to probably play more guys. It was tough a year ago watching some guys that gained a lot of experience through some tough stuff. I think I thought we talked about it a lot last year. It reminded me a lot of ‘94, where a lot of guys were getting their first experiences, and we had a darn good football team. We just couldn't make those plays on the stretch of the games. And, that paid off. I'm not saying this year's going to be like '95. Let's not mix my words, but I just think we gained a lot of experience a year ago. We'll see where we're at tomorrow when we get the pads on from the standpoint of do we carry over the fundamental and the technique of what we've been working on.
Do you hit tomorrow?
We thud tomorrow, so full go up. So yeah, is there contact involved in practice? Yes, there is. Is it real football yet? Not game-like, but it will be. It's just so hard, especially for both sides of the ball. I mean, you're working your butt off fundamentally, footwork-wise, but it's so different when the target's bigger for the D-line to hit or the O-line. And, it just is what it is.
When you get into hitting situations and start tackling, how do you manage, say, someone like Benrick, who has to get hit to get in game shape, yet you want to take care of him?
Well, again, I mean, I think full go up. More injuries happen when guys go to the ground than getting thudded up. I mean, in football, that's, I think the misnomer is we got to limit contact. I disagree. We got to teach how to have contact the right way. When you go watch an NFL team practice, I mean, they're going fast and furious. There's contact in diagnosed situations, the same thing we do, but they all stay off the ground. And that's one thing in my 14 years. I mean, the athleticism of our team has changed. I mean, 14 years ago, when I was coaching some of those linebackers, I was very cautious on who those Scott O-linemen were. Some of those Scott O-linemen were out there. I limited my guys just as a position coach because I knew they were going to go on the ground. And, that's the big thing. That's why you hear us, at practices at times when a guy goes on the ground being such sticklers about it, because that's when guys get rolled out. Very rarely is it when I get thudded up do you get anything that happens, because that's what we're trying to teach. How to take on the block, how to block a guy properly, how to take on a tackle right, and how to tackle properly. And I think that's some of the things that are being missed in some of this legislation is you got to educate guys how to do that properly. And I just, like I said at the media day, I mean, everybody thinks that people that I think aren't around it every day think that the Junction Boys is the way that college football is, and that's just not the way that it is. And that's okay. We've just got to do a better job, I think, educating the public on just how safe the game is now. I mean, Ryan Fitzgerald is playing football right now. He got his helmet today. It's the happiest day of his life. There's nothing wrong with it as long as they're being taught the right way to do it. And he's a second grader, so I don't know. I'm not trying to get on a pulpit here, but I just think we got a lot of things we got to look at in the game, and that's one of them. I mean, these guys are working really hard, and just to be in helmets for a couple of days is a little bit of a waste. The helmets are probably more better for at the end of camp when your legs are gassed. I mean, they're as fresh as you're going to be all camp these first 2 days.
Do you think Kyle Prater can make more of an impact this year, and if so, why?
Well, Teddy, it's been a tough road for him, and the battle through the injuries the way that he has, he's shown great patience. It's a terrible narrative as far as a story, but as far as what would happen to somebody, but a great narrative from the standpoint of overcoming adversity. I think we saw signs of his health in the spring. He's stronger. He's in better shape now. And you guys watch him the first 2 days. I mean, he's really worked hard. And I expect him to have the best year that he's had since he's been in college. What does that mean? It's to be determined, but I fully anticipate that. I really do. And that just goes back to recruiting. I mean, look at all the hype that happens through this recruiting process. And fair or unfair, that's just the reality of the business now. And nothing to do with him. And so now, you guys remember the first day he got here. I mean, how many questions did you guys ask me about him? And you're doing your job, but I told you it's going to be a process. I mean, we knew what he had gone through, and it wasn't to make excuses. But I'm really proud of how he's battled. I don't think there's a guy in our program, everybody in the locker room, all the coaches, support staff, couldn't be more excited to watch a guy hopefully go out and really have a lot of fun because he's been through so much.
When you look back at all the years you've coached, has there been a direct correlation between the way a team performs in training camp health-wise and just performance-wise, and the way you perform on the field?
Yeah, well, knock on wood, we'll keep it rolling. But we won the opener, so I don't know. I don't know. The camp, we've been on the road a bunch too, right? So it's gonna be weird. We're gonna be home for a month. So I don't know. I mean, I think you guys really get caught up when you're watching practice about who caught a ball and who dropped the ball and who won one-on-ones. We get caught up as coaches about who's playing with the fundamental and technique when we watch it, because that's kind of what they're going to rely upon when we get going in the fall. Everything is somewhat scripted and controlled. I think I talked about it a little bit in the kickoff that we're going to do some things a little bit different in our two-a-days. Our second practice is going to be a lot more situational stuff. The situations start on Saturday as far as down and distance, but then it'll really kick in from a standpoint of football. But as far as a direct correlation, no, it's like even like pregame warm-up. I stopped trying to analyze that stuff a long time ago.
Back to Kyle, now that he is healthy, you're seeing him do things that he hasn't been able to do before?
Well, we knew a lot about him in high school. You know, he's looking bigger, faster, and stronger than he was in high school. So I mean, that's what I see right now. Just the process of him getting out there, getting comfortable, and you know, I think he's got really good chemistry with Trevor and our quarterbacks. And gosh, he's a big target now. He's catching the ball as well as he has. You know, and he's stronger in his lower body. I mean, you remember when he first got here, man, he had I got better looking legs than he had back then. So he's really worked hard with Jay Hooten, and credit goes to Kyle. He's always been a rock star as far as a person, and now hopefully he gets to go out and have fun.
What does it do for an offense when you guys have so many guys that can make a big play?
Well, that's actually one of our things that we talked about this offseason, about yards after catch and yards after contact. We weren't very good a year ago. You know, I mean, I can think of a shot, slant catch, a 3-yard slant, and a long run against Ohio State. I can't think of a whole lot more that just jump out to me. You guys might be able to remember a few, but there weren't a lot of, you know, with our offense, timing route equal an explosion play is kind of when we're really kicking, you know, cooking with gas, and we didn't have a lot of that a year ago. We had quite a few in the last game, but not anything really in between.
Shot against Ohio State.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that was the last. Yeah, it was one. Shot against Ohio State, and then that I don't really remember a bunch until after the last game. So it's an area that's really been a point of emphasis for our skill group. So I say that to answer your question. We got a lot of work to do there. I think we've got guys that can do it. We just got to do it more consistently. I mean, driving on a defense 20 plays. That's pretty tough. You got to shorten the field by explosive plays. We got to be better.
Point of emphasis, explosive plays, throwing vertical or
combo. I mean, the ability to throw it vertical has to do a lot more with your run game than it does with your ability to protect. Because a lot of those vertical shots are off of play action, and we couldn't run the ball the length of my nose last year. So, you know, play action pass game was somewhat mute. We still try to work it in, and then, you know, we try to take our calculated shots where we max protected and threw the ball down the field. And, you know, it's a balancing act.
We lost